Here we go.
All right.
Are you listening? Damn.
Welcome to the stream. Joe Malillo here, and a special guest this afternoon for JoJo Crypto Live. I'm so excited to have everybody here, and what a special opportunity for Women in Crypto Wednesdays here on JoJo Crypto Live. Starting to interview women who are in the crypto space, get their perspective, and really talk about how we can get more women into crypto. And so I'd like to welcome Jenny Q Ta, who, if you don't know who she is, I'll read a little bit about her just from her profile, but she's a three-time founder, co-founder and CEO of Galaxy NFT, founder and CEO of CoinLinked, co-founder and marketing director for VC Network Co., and former founder, CEO of two Wall Street investment banks. Jenny, thanks for joining me.
Whoa, hey Joe, and
Correct me.
nice greetings to all of your followers and fans out there. I know you're a journalist reporter from New York. That is so cool. So thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I was. We're gonna go. I really want to know about you, and so tell me a little bit about who you are, and where'd you come from, and a little bit about your history.
All right. So, I share my story a lot, probably way too much, but I understand that, we're growing in the crypto space and it's worldwide. And so there's, every single one individual who interviews me, they have their own audience. So I'm sure you have your own audience. So I'll share that with you. But before I go ahead and do that, I'm going to twist the table a little bit here. I wanted to ask you, Joe. So I also have followers and fans and friends and stuff like that. They may not know who you are. So I did send out a tweet yesterday about your being an award winning journalist. So why don't you share with us first about who
Hey,
you are, and then we'll dive into me afterwards. How about that?
a true leader of multiple proportions. You are asking me, the host, who I am. Well, for your
Yes.
listeners, my name is Joe Malillo, and I was a TV reporter, a broadcast journalist for 11 years. I traveled around the country. One of my stations was in New York. I ended up in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I have three podcasts, including the infamous Indie Podcast, which is an award-winning podcast about true crime here in Indiana. So if you like that, go look up True Crime in Indiana for Infamous Indie, about 30 episodes. And then I have the New Old Dads podcast, as well as the Electrify Your Message podcast, which has to do with text messaging in business for people. So I've jumped into the crypto space full force. I've been in crypto for about a year now, but really been focused on learning and being able to take, and what I hope the stream turns into is being able to take normal people's thought process and understanding of what blockchain, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, NFTs are, and take the advantage of what Gary Vee and all the influencers are doing out there and getting people excited about it, and giving people another resource to learn about it from a different perspective, from my perspective, as I grow along with the audience. So that's who I am, Jenny, and thank you. Now let's twist it back to you and ask people, and where'd you come from, and how did this, I mean, your resume is unbelievable, top notch.
Right. And I'm not 70 years old, right? Not even 60, not even 50. So I'm pretty thankful about that. So but hey, so I don't know where to start really, to be honest with you. Of course I'm a California girl. I've always been California all my life. I wasn't born here though. I was born in Vietnam, but I was raised here since I was a couple years old. So quite Americanized. Went to college, the whole nine yard, and then my first job was actually out of college, was actually on Wall Street. Um, and so I fell in love with Wall Street. Um, I was working for Shears and Lehman. Now you probably heard of them as um, Morgan Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Morgan Stanley, because they merge a number of times. And then yeah, and then I after a while I've launched my own company. Like it's like a small Goldman Sachs. Brought it all the way up to back then in today's money would probably be about maybe $3 to $5 billion in asset under management, which is AUM, asset under management. And then that got acquired, obviously. Then I went on a hiatus with a bunch of my friends. At that time, I was only like 25. And so I was already a self-made millionaire. And all of my friends were either still in college at the time or they were just working for, what should I say, a regular, a regular 9 to 5 job. And so I asked them basically to take a week off. And there were like 5 or 6 of my friends, all gals, were all good friends growing up from high school and stuff like that. And so I paid for everybody, plane, round trip, hotel. We had a blast, like a week or 2 weeks. So that was the first time I ever knew what being wealthy was all about. Kind of burn quickly too, within that 2 weeks, especially if you cover for all of your friends, high-end hotels and stuff like that. But so then after that, I kind of got bored again, went back and I set up another broker dealer, which is an investment bank. You can either call broker dealers or investment banks similar. Okay. Investment banks are probably more fancier terms. Broker dealers or brokerage firms is more like, more traditional. And then that too got acquired. And then I went on a hiatus again for the second time. Don't want to bore you with that. Similar things happen. Then I got bored again. Then I went back this time. I decided to get into technology and venture capital. Okay, so what that means is instead of being on the broker dealer side, which I would normally take companies public, raise funding for them, for tech companies and all, kind of stuff, I decided to be the tech company, and my friends would be the brokerage firm. And so I started to launch my first tech company, and then I launched my venture capital firm, which you can see here. Okay, here.
Yeah.
VC Network, it's still there.
Yeah. I'll pull it up right now.
CoinLink, yeah, CoinLink, which is this one here,
Mm-hmm.
was just acquired by the company that I'm with right now. That they are an NFT aggregator. I would be going on live streaming with Sam. He's very well known within the Stellar community, because the company that acquired CoinLink, which is HODL Assets, they have a token that is on the Stellar blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's why. So we're gonna share about that after my live with you. So it's at 1:15. I think we're ending ours at 12:30. That gives me just a little time to do some magic, and then you. So if two audience are watching us, they're gonna know what that magic means.
Yeah,
But yeah, and
they're
then that's basically it.
that's awesome. When it came to what do you think brought you success from transitioning from pre technology to a technology space? What was it that you think attributes to your success?
Um, I think passion really. I mean, the thing about it is, I believe I heard from Steve Jobs. He was talking about passion, and one of the reasons why he said that for entrepreneurs, if we don't have passion, then we tend to give up, because being an entrepreneur is not easy, meaning that you're going to go through days that you're going to feel like, whatever the shit that you're trying to build, or whatever the shit that you wanted to do, your vision, it just doesn't work out, right? You're going to go through days like that. And if you don't have the passion to literally surpass those days, then everything you're gonna do is gonna be a failure, because then you were just gonna wrap up and give up, you know. Um, you know, through my life, I don't want to bore people, because the story has already been out there. But if I would have count the number, well, you've mentioned, well, not mentioned, but you said that I'm a 3x founder, which is true. Um, for me to get that 3x founder title, I have to surpass probably over a dozen failures, including the three companies that I got the 3x's from, right?
That's right.
Because there were days and times when I said, shoot, this isn't gonna work. This is, I mean, it just isn't gonna work. But you have to have the passion, and you have to believe in yourself, and that you just either go out for a run, you grab friends to go eat, and then you go to sleep. And then the next day, you just have to wake up and say that yesterday was gone and today's different, even though you're waking up to the exact same company that gave you that, that stress, or that, that sadness of the day before, that you thought you're going to give up. So it's kind of like that. It's a weird situation, but that's passion. And if you don't have passion, there's really nothing much that you can do. But and to add the second part, Joe, is that on Wall Street, even though it's finance, but remember, I was the owner of a broker dealer, so I trade a lot of technology stocks for my clients, and I had 50 brokers under me at that time, who they were working for me. And most of us at my firm, we love technology. So for me to, people think that I was moving from finance to technology, not really, because I was already there. And what is absolutely perfect, now that we're into fintech and cryptocurrency, it fits, me like a charm, because cryptocurrency, now you have to know SEC rules, regulation, and you know what? All of that, I'm like top notch. I'm probably better than a lot of the attorneys out there, though I'm not an attorney, right? But I can tell if they are BSing. I That's why a lot of the attorneys, most of them may be intimidated when they work with me, because I can catch them when they're wrong. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but if you're a lawyer and you do things that, if I catch you that you're wrong, then that's not a lawyer for me, because I'm even better than you.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. So,
Yeah, you want an
but
expert. You don't want to
oh,
be.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
You
totally.
you figuring out this world, right, and being able to take your strengths and then combine them and get them into the right space has led to you jumping in and being known in this crypto world as somebody who knows what they're doing. What is it about the crypto world, blockchains, and all of it that really you see the future? How do you?
Well, the thing about it is, I believe, honestly, is that the world has evolved tremendously, right? And cryptocurrency is at the forefront, okay, of the money evolution, right? Which I do believe that cryptocurrency will be much, much, much bigger than traditional finance. Now, I know a lot of my friends, they always like, they love to watch me, because they say, Jenny, you have some of the most unusual energy ever, right? It's like I have this weird vibes and like energy or whatever, right? So I know they're probably watching. But the thing about it is, since the birth of Bitcoin, here's the actual data though. Since the birth of Bitcoin, Joe, it's been about what, 12 years ago, right? So, and we've only penetrated, get this, penetrated the world with less than 4% into crypto. So what that means, Joe,
Wow.
if you take 100%, you minus 4%, there's still 96% of people all around the world that is still using fiat,
Yep.
traditional money.
That's right.
Okay. So it took us 12 years to get to just 4%, which when Bitcoin was at an all-time high, right? I believe Bitcoin alone was $1 trillion market cap, right?
Hmm.
And then including all of the other cryptocurrencies. So I think we were like a little bit over 2 trillion. But that 2 trillion market cap consists only 4% of the world's money flow. That means like if we don't have cryptocurrency, it'll be 100% everybody's using fiat, correct?
That's right.
But now that cryptocurrency came into the picture with making payments in Ether and USDC, USDT stable coins, Bitcoin, etc. I mean, I don't think people pay with Bitcoin. That's more like a reserve asset. It's only 4%. So I was thinking within the next 12 years, okay, will we be more than another 4%, or will we just going to grow from 4 to 8%? So I think within the next 12 years, it's going to be faster than the last 12 years.
So
So we're going to go from 4% to probably 10 to 12%. It's going to be more than that.
so
Yeah, and we're not going to go from 4 to 8, is what I'm saying.
if you're listening, this is the beginning. We are so far
Totally.
advanced in this that right now, if
Exactly.
you still got time, people I talk to say, it's too late, right? I already missed it. You didn't.
Right.
No way, you didn't miss it. You just
You
have to
didn't
get.
miss anything.
That's right.
I mean, think about it, you guys. I mean, what is this year? This year is the year of NFTs, non-fungible tokens, right? I mean, the numbers are staggering, right? Well, personally, like this year, what is the number? Sales of NFTs have surged to nearly 11 freaking billion dollars of JPEGs in the third quarter of 2021. I mean, think about it. We're no longer buying stuff on Amazon, like the actual stuff. We're literally just buying JPEGs. I mean, we're buying JPEGs for $11 billion. And so, which is a lot more than previous quarter, but more than 2/3, get this, Joe, of the US cryptocurrency investors are men. So we need to dive into why is that, okay? And about 60% are white men, okay? According to a CNBC survey. The gender gap that is wider than other financial investments such as stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, which were all in my world before, right? Shared with you from the beginning. I came from Wall Street. So I thought when I was on Wall Street, Joe, oh my God, I was a rare. I mean, I was a gem. I mean, me, Jenny Ta, was a gem, right? Why was I a gem? First of all, I'm a female, right? Second of all, I was super young. I was like 20 something. Third of all, I'm Asian, right? I'm Asian. And fourth of all, I have a little attitude. So don't get at me, right? So I'm just kidding with the fourth, just a little bit.
That's
But
okay.
the first three are accurate. Being a woman, being super young as a woman, and being and a non-white woman being on Wall Street. Just like cryptocurrency, it's predominantly white male. This Wall Street, I believe it's predominantly white male, and I don't know. Sometimes I call them mafias. There's a
Mm.
lot of mafias in Wall
We call
Street.
them the old boys club.
The old boys club. That is exactly correct. So I never felt like that I fit in on Wall Street, but you know what? There's a saying that, you know, people say that uh for me, well, here's what it is. I'm trying to say is that people always say that it's like you can't do that, or you have to find something that make it work for you or something like that. But for me, I go after what other people think that it doesn't work for them, and I will make it work for me. Did you get that? So
You
it's like,
don't give a
fuck.
what
Oops. Excuse me. Can I do that? You might need bleep that out on YouTube or something.
bleep.
But
No,
yeah,
don't worry. Yeah, don't you don't care what anybody else thinks, which is the entrepreneur spirit in you. That's hard to say 3 times. And you keep going. And so you use it to your advantage, right? Different is not bad, it's just different. So using that to your advantage, and it's led to this.
yeah. And you know what is strange about me, Joe, is you've heard of the phrase, don't follow the herd,
Hmm.
right? Or don't go with the herd, or whatever. Follow, go, whatever. That's me. So
Yeah.
if all of the people were running this way and they running against whatever, I tend to look at what people are running against, because that tells me that maybe it's hard or it's difficult. So that's why people are running on this side, because it's easier and simple. But here's what people don't understand, right? When you run all on this side, you have more competition. Like 99% of the people are over here, then you got to compete with the 99.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I would sneak tippy toe on this side, and I would say, well, why is it hard? If it's hard, I love it because I love a challenge. I don't care how hard it is. I'm gonna find ways to do it, and that's the reason why I pick some of the most challenging careers in my life that is predominantly men. And when people say, but Jenny, you won't fit in, and you know what my answer would be? I'll make it fit in. I'll make them know who I am. I'll make them make sure that they know that I run a broker dealer and that I'm an Asian female, right? And I'll make sure that they hear my voice. So I've been doing that for like since I was in my early 20s. And I kind of gave you a clue that, that I'm not in my 50s, but, kind of like I'm not
Hey,
in my
we don't
30s
we don't
either.
talk about age here on Women in Crypto on Wednesdays. We don't
There you go.
we don't make
It's ageless, right?
yeah, age is
Well, I
just
mean, I'm proud
a
of my
number that
age, to be
somebody else
honest.
gave me. My
There
mental
you go.
capacity is way more than what on my age is. I'm always one for believing in that. That's and we have a lot of questions that got sent in because once you tweeted out that you were going to be on the show, we had a couple of people answer me with some questions. You had some questions come in the show, but I want to hear from a business woman's perspective on the industry as a whole. We said 4% of it is permeated from a finance perspective across the country or across the world. Excuse me, across the
Mm-hmm.
world.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to see in 2022 in your perspective? And then I have more woman-based questions for you after that one. So where do you see 2022 going in your mind? What's hitting on hard for you?
Well, I've heard rumors already that OpenSea, the largest NFT platform, is going to go public. I mean, obviously hitting $10 billion in sales in the third quarter, and I think we are already at 7 billion in the fourth quarter, and it's only the first week of December. So I think this fourth quarter is going to kill the 11 billions of the third quarter. And of that $11 billion, I believe OpenSea took a huge chunk of that. And so I believe they are going to go public. And I also believe Coinbase is opening up their NFT side, even though Coinbase is an exchange, but they need more businesses, I believe. because they're already a publicly traded company. So what do I see in 2022? It's funny how I see it. I see one that I do believe that cryptocurrency overall is going to come down, meaning that we're going to head into a slight bear market to sideways. I did this couple of tweets just a couple days ago. My own analysis why I believe, because it tends to happen exactly identically before the next Bitcoin halving, right? So that's what I believe. But uh, on the opposite side, now we're beginning to see crypto companies that are more legit than the 2017 ICO era, right? In 2017, if you remember, Joe, a bunch of folks got out with a white paper and they basically just raised money left and right, tons and tons and tons and tons of money left and right. But at the end of the day, that's all they had was a token and a white paper. There was not a legitimate company that was generating revenue, income, or whatsoever. But that is changing today. Today, the ICO era is over. We are still, dropping tokens, tokenomics, white paper, pre-sales are happening, tokens are still selling, but we're in a different path in essence, is that they're being raised or they being uh, um, put together by real companies with a real team, and they don't care about white papers anymore. Yes, the white paper is still there, but what they don't care about is that not just the white paper, but actually building a hardcore company like an OpenSea, you know, like a Gemini, like a Coinbase. I mean, there are a lot of great crypto companies now that could probably merge over into traditional finance, which we're gonna see more in 2022. That they're going to go public. They're gonna go, going to go public, and that is gonna be interesting because if you really look at it, the two companies that have gone public that is connected to cryptocurrency would be Coinbase and Robinhood, and neither one of them have their own coin or their own token, right?
That's right.
But in 2022, you're going to see companies that do have a token or a coin. Okay, again, a token is if you build it on somebody else's blockchain. A coin is if you build it on your own blockchain, right? And they too will go public. I mean, I like Solana. Solana is one of the companies that I follow recently, and I like. I believe the management is decent, the team is decent, trustworthy. They have a token. No, actually, they have a coin because Solana is their own blockchain. So they have a coin. And so I do believe that if their revenue is strong enough, they could go public on the traditional market. And that is going to be interesting because that's going to be some of the first time ever that you will see a cryptocurrency company that has a cryptocurrency token or coin publicly traded on a crypto exchange, yet their own company with equities will be publicly traded on the traditional exchange.
Isn't that
That's going to be
amazing?
some weird badass. I'm telling you, it's going to be weird badass.
I
Yeah.
mean, you look at the signs, and you're talking about them in that way in terms of going public, but also like from a real world perspective, the Staples Center is now CryptoCoin.com Center. So
That is correct.
well, I mean,
That is absolutely correct.
it's starting to permeate across all spectrums here. One of my major questions I had for some of the Twitter spaces I've been on is, tell me what is the most successful NFT real world use of an NFT out there. Some people say Bored Ape Yacht Club is definitely
Mm-hmm.
used because of the club aspect of it. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
clout that you get for owning a Bored Ape Yacht Club
Mm-hmm.
NFT.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, tickets, things are becoming legitimate, like to prove that you were at this event and be able
Mm-hmm.
to prove it on a massive scale. Everything that you're doing is being any transaction is being documented and stored in the blockchain. So yeah,
Right.
this is big stuff that we're talking about here, 2022, and how you know the world is changing here. So thank you, Jenny. This is great. When it comes to our questions, I kind of opened it up to the floor here as well. I put it out on Twitter. Like if you have a question, go ahead and retweet me, and I'll see if Jenny can answer the question. But we have a list of questions that came in with a few different people. So I'll start with the first one if that's okay with you. Unless you got something else to
Sure.
add, you
Oh no,
talk.
I'm good.
I might
I
as well
mean,
turn.
you're
I'll just turn my
you're
camera off.
the host.
I'll
You're
just
the
turn my
host, so
camera off. No,
you're the guy.
that's okay. That's okay. This is a dual effort. This is a multiple
Right.
person
There you
effort here.
go. Mm-hmm.
So double down asks, why don't you see as many women in crypto? Why don't you see as many women in crypto? Question mark.
Well, well, I'm a woman, so I believe that I understand that aspect. I mean, who knows from decades ago, our grandmothers, great grandmothers, um, it has always been that, it's a trickling down effect. In essence, is that when you're a girl blossoming into a woman, you got to be more passive, you got to be more reserved, you shouldn't take risk because it's the husband, it's the man in the household that should take all the risk, and stuff like that. And you know what, I respect that. I mean
in the
I respect
household
that.
that should take
But
all the
then
risk,
here's the thing,
and
though,
stuff like that.
I think we are evolving and we are changing. And I don't dare to say I'm a young Gen X. Okay, I'm a young Gen X. Um, okay, no age, right? So, but I believe the reason why I mentioned that is because um I believe the starting point of cryptocurrency, where the wave has changed, would probably be millennials. Okay, so I do have a lot of millennial friends because many of them think I'm a millennial. So hey, that's why I mentioned my age, because I'm proud of what it is, right? So a lot of my millennial friends, of course, since the birth of Bitcoin, that's from millennial era, right? And so what would happen is women are more aggressive. I mean, you will see, you know, TikTok. I don't have TikTok, by the way, but my friend sent them to me, or Instagram, and they basically have this inspirational, very short clips of saying like, don't get married unless your garage is full of, six-figure cars, right? Um, don't say yes or don't say I do unless you are self-independent as a woman. So it's basically it's different than the traditional world of your grandmother, your mother was telling you, make sure you grow up, you look beautiful, make sure you're
Yeah,
gentle, wearing a dress.
superficial judgmental things that don't really translate into real world, aka being able to sustain yourself as a woman.
Exactly. Just like you said, you have a daughter. So I would love, I mean, your daughter by that time, she's gonna have the millennial ladies, women, the Gen Z women, and then a bunch of before she's gonna be a young lady herself. And
Yeah,
my point is that,
her mom's a badass, so
okay, there you go.
yeah, we already know.
Yeah, gotcha. So because of that, there are a very small portion of women that are aggressive, say like me, right? I'm considered an alpha A kind of a woman. I'm considered as aggressive when it comes to making investments. And I am independent when it comes to making investment decision. Not like a lot of my friends who are married or have a family. Whenever I talk investment to them, they would say, "Well, Jenny, let me see if let me check with Tom, which is her husband,
Oh,
or
calling
let
out
me
Tom right
check
now.
with Jack, right? Let me check, you know."
Insert
Then
male
I would
name here.
say, exactly. And then I would say, "Well, you guys, what don't you guys bring home half of the pie? I mean, they're all working, they're all successful women. Why do you have to ask Tom and Jack? Yes, I respect that you guys are married, but here's the thing though. When I was on Wall Street managing, again, what today would be at least $3 to $5 billion of the asset under management I had back then, 99% of my clients were men, obviously, right? Doctor, surgeon, and a lot of them are my friends to this very day because I made them a lot of money. So they kind of stuck around. We all became friends. And guess what? A lot of them, they would go and they would ask their wives for a power of attorney, right? Like
Mm.
when they have a joint account.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the wives would sign off. So I'd be getting like all kinds of power of attorneys from the wives, giving it to the husband. But when it's the other way around, like when it's the wives who hangs around with another woman like me, and I'm talking about crypto and Bitcoin, all these kind of things, and they would have to go home and ask their Jacks or their Toms or their Jerry or whatever. I find that, what's wrong? I mean, why don't you just go back and get a power of attorney just like the guys did to you? I mean, to their wives. So, I don't know when that is going to shift, Joe, but that's one of the problems. Okay. It's sort of like if you are an alcoholic, you have to admit that you are an alcoholic
Absolutely.
before you can be helped. And if you are a drug addict, you have to admit that you are so that you could be helped. And on this essence, the women have to self proclaim their independence from their husband. I'm not saying don't get married, okay? I'm saying yes, you could be married, but you have to be independent. Teach your daughters, if you have one, to be independent. You don't have, I mean, unless Joe, unless if the wives or the wives and the husband, they don't have kids, right? And the wives does not make money on income. So no kids, meaning that the wives is not a housewife. You get what I'm
I
saying?
understand.
So if the husband is bringing home the entire pie, then yes, fine. This woman does not work. This woman does not bear a child. This woman just sits around and you look beautiful. Then yes, she doesn't know anything about investment. Then if somebody comes to her and asks about investment, yes, go home and ask Tom. Go home and ask John. Go home and ask Jack, because Jack brings home the entire pie. You get what I'm saying?
I get
But
it.
that's very rare these days, though. But
And
these days, even if Jack and Jill has a child, then even Jill makes no income, but Jill stays home and raise the child. That is called that
that's
Jill is
value.
doing something.
Yeah, that's
That's
value.
value.
That earns
Okay.
that earns a say.
That earns independence. So that's
Absolutely.
what I'm saying.
No, I would have to add on to that and just say, from a perspective of, something I've noticed is, um, women think, this is funny, me saying this, I promise ladies out there, I swear to God, I'm not trying to mansplain. I'm empathizing that I'm the same way. If I don't know, I shy away from something. If I think, oh, there's no way I could ever learn about that. That's really hard. I don't really know about it. That's me with certain things in my life already. I feel as if that is, like you said, from a tradition standpoint, it's being taught that, oh, that's too hard. Don't even do it. Don't even think about it. And you know what? Just hand that off to your husband, where nowadays resources are so available to everybody. And I believe everyone, not just women, but people of different ethnicities and people of different backgrounds can take the power in their own hands, change their destiny, make money, and learn about something and become an expert in a space where we talk about this all the time in the crypto space. This is DeFi, right? We don't want to put it into one space. All these thoughts and everything that we've been taught for the last 150 years, it will go away with blockchain because you can be whoever you want on the blockchain. End of story.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what you look like, sound like, or even what your docs are, because you don't have to dox yourself. You can always figure it out. But you know what? Let's give the power, and that's the internet, and that is the power of where people come from. So I'd have to add to what you're saying. I agree with you 100%. If you have that ability, let's change the perspective. Let's change the outlook of what women have the ability to do. And I guess I should just probably ask my wife to host this. So on Wednesdays.
There you go. Or at least she should join you too. That's not a bad thing.
I'm going to do it next time. Now I got a new system here. But the truth is, my wife and I, we talk about this stuff all the time. We have a very partnership marriage. She's watching right now too, so she's probably like, stop talking about this. But in general, we have a very partnership-based marriage. So Tom, Jack, and Jerry over here, in the end, I know where the money's coming from, and she puts in just as much as I do.
There you go.
So
and she's raising the kids. You have one or two?
We have two. Yep, we have two.
See, and yeah.
And so
it's like you're doing your 8 hours. She's doing like 24 because she's doing her thing and she's raising the kids.
Remember when I said I had a boss lady as a wife?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's because of that. All of that.
There you go.
And the truth is too, I'm doing multiple things, and she's doing multiple things. We are a team, the true essence of a millennial team, calling it millennial mayhem in our house. But let's go on a couple more questions because we got 20 minutes, a little less than 20 minutes. But at My Crypto says men and women are different, which is why we need more women representation and leadership in crypto. How do you think we get more women to be interested in crypto? Which goes off of what I've been saying. How do we get more interest in the space for women? What makes women interested?
Well, like I said, the NFT space is going to open up the doors for a lot of women. And right now, what people are understanding about NFTs are just the basic level, which is NFT art, right? You take a picture or you draw by hand a piece of art, then you mint it and it becomes an NFT, or you do digital art if you're pretty good with softwares and you draw art. But in the future, NFTs, again, I can write a book about this now, okay? NFTs plus the metaverse, which is the buzzword now, because of Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook.
Who?
You heard about that.
No, who's that guy?
Exactly. Who's that dude, right? So, Facebook to Meta. If you add NFTs and the metaverse, the world is going to change. It's pretty much, we're going to live in a world that is digitized. We're going to shop in a world that is digitized. We're not going to go shop. I mean, like you look at this outfit, right? Yes. So I shop in the real world. Okay. But I believe in the digitized world, we're probably going to spend more money than the real world because we're going to spend more of our times in the metaverse than in the real world. Okay, so back to your question. Here is a couple data. This is not sponsored, by the way. The names that I'm going to be mentioning now is just data.
Yeah, and as disclosure, we're not offering financial advice in any way here. This is a conversation between me and Jenny about opportunities and what she's seeing in the market. So yeah, go ahead.
Yep. So anyway, I was going to mention about OKCoin. OKCoin said that it will dedicate $1 million to bring more women into the cryptocurrency market with a goal of reaching 50% of female cryptocurrency customers by 2025. That is OKCoin. They have also partnered up with Randy Zuckerberg. Remember that guy that we just said 60 seconds ago? Who is he?
Yeah.
So Randy Zuckerberg is obviously it's his sister, and OKCoin partnered up with her with this $1 million to jointly committed again to bring 50% of female customers in by 2025. Personally, I think $1 million is kind of small for a campaign like this, but hey, it's better than nothing, right? As of right now, it is accurate that twice as many men as women invest in cryptocurrency. 16% of men versus 7% of women, which I believe that's hopefully we can bring that into par, 16 versus 16, or for every man that invests in cryptocurrency, there's a woman. Um, and here's another data. I mean, while cryptocurrency has drawn a lot of younger people into the space, but women only make up a fifth of such number. Like in the United States, for every five cryptocurrency investors, there's only one. So 1 to 4, right? For every one woman, there's 4 men. We got to bring that up a little bit.
Yeah.
And
But
then there are no. Go ahead,
no,
Joe.
just in general, I mean, isn't that every industry that I feel like that's ever crossed? There's always this disproportionate thing for when it comes to women integrating into it, and it just needs to be an effort. And luckily, I feel as if our generations are doing better. As we grow in each generation, I feel like we are making an effort to bring more and more people that aren't usually in a space into it. And continue with what you're saying. I just think this is just something that this is a problem that always seems to be popping up, no matter what, every industry.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, like Wall Street, politics, venture capital, tech. I mean, it's everywhere. One of the things that I'm beginning to see is very A-lister actresses, such as Reese Witherspoon. She's into Ethereum now. Paris Hilton, obviously, she's a Bitcoin gal, right? Mila Kunis, which is
Mila
Ashton
Kunis, yeah.
Kutcher's wife. I guess because of Ashton Kutcher, she can literally explain what a blockchain is and Ethereum. That was impressive. Lindsay Lohan, I know she was hired to promote some cryptocurrency stuff, so I think she's into crypto too. And obviously too, it's Kim Kardashian. Earlier this year, she promoted Ethereum Max, which I don't believe it went well. I think it tanked or whatever at the end, or a pull rug or a rug pull, whatever that was. And even Christine Lagarde, I'm not sure if you guys heard of her, but she say it best actually. She is the IMF managing director, and this is what she said about technology. She said, "We've heard a lot about IoTs. IoTs is Internet of Things, right?" Then she says that I think we need an IOW, Internet of Women. So that's Christine Lagarde. So I believe that, and also in the UK too, again, it's global, Joe. There's a UK based activist is about to launch Women Rise campaign. Ladies should check that out. Women Rise, a campaign to bring 100,000 girls and women into the cryptocurrency space by the end of next year. So there are a lot of campaigns now out there that are bringing folks into the cryptocurrency space, and I believe the bridge that we have been waiting for and that it became explosive this year was actually NFTs, not DeFi, but it was NFTs.
And it makes the transition is a little bit more accepted. It's easier to understand. I feel like artwork is easy for me to understand, so that's why I was drawn to NFTs versus maybe venture capitalist stuff or investment based on Bitcoin or Ethereum. But I think getting this, I mean, this Women Rise, I have it up on the screen right now. I mean, yep. I'm listen, and I'm a big, like, anybody who wants to be in the space needs to be in the space because we're at 4% and we got 96% more to go in terms of penetration into the finance world. But yeah, so I just think in general, the real world aspects of it permeating, like you said, shopping in the real world, shopping in the metaverse. I mean, my son buys more skins than I think my wife buys clothing in the real world. Right? Like he's a Fortnite kid and a Roblox kid, and we're sitting here feeding him V-Bucks all day. You know, that's what's going to transition us. And when that moment happens, there's going to be a precipice of moment. And that's when I feel like, in my opinion, if when do women get interested in crypto? When it affects our life, just like just like anything else, just like anybody, not just women. And they're probably going to be better at it too, to be honest, because
totally.
Crypto Bull says women are emotionally much stronger than most men when it comes to these markets. So it's their choice and men can't force them. What do you think about that statement?
No, I know it's true. Like there's a saying, can't buy me love, right? You can't force love, right? You can't buy love either. I mean, you could, but I wouldn't call that love. I mean, the love for money, yeah.
Yeah, in the 5 love languages, it's gift giving, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, some people are really that's their love language. So that's about as far as it goes, though, buying love.
Yeah. So what I was thinking is that for Crypto Bull of that question, it's true. Imagine if the men have to force the women, or the husband, you know, forces his wife to learn crypto, then she's not going to learn, because for someone to learn and to really like it, you have to do it independently. Let's use Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis for example. I'm pretty sure if Mila did not marry Ashton Kutcher, she may not be into blockchain and crypto as much today. But because she married Ashton Kutcher, right? And he's really into blockchain and crypto, because I believe he invested in I forgot that name of the company now. It's like they're shopping online. All of a sudden,
the online shopping company that Ashton Kutcher invested in.
Yeah. They when you buy stuff from them, you will accumulate a Bitcoin.
Oh, is it basic attention token?
No.
No.
Mm-mm. There's also Google. Since you're at the thing, Google Ashton Kutcher and Michelle Phan, because Michelle Phan also is a spokesperson for that company, and Ashton Kutcher was an investor. Yes, Lolly, that is correct. See, I'm usually very bad with names.
Hey, but we have the internet. Why should you remember?
Exactly. But when somebody say it wrong, I just know it's wrong. And then when somebody say it right, I know it's right. And then my friends would say, Jenny, you're weird. I mean, if you know it's right, you should know the name, but I don't know why. I'm very bad with names, but I know when you say it and it's wrong or it's right. So anyway, back to Mila and Ashton. So, but you see how Mila, she knows about blockchain and Ethereum. I mean, you should pull up that video when she was with Vitalik of Ethereum. I mean, she could literally like explain Ethereum as if she was the creator of Ethereum. Yeah. I mean, that girl is like a killer. So, but you see, she has to have that passion in her for it to sink in. You get what I mean?
Yes.
Ashton cannot force her, open the book and read it. It's kind of like you can take the horse to the pond but you can't force the horse to drink the water. Okay?
Yeah,
That's the thing. So women, you just got to step up, be independent with your own finances, even if you're married. Okay? The worst case you would do, I would advise my married women. Okay? Here's just my advice because I'm very independent, right? No one tells me what to do because I make the money, I invest my money, right?
that's right.
So even for women who are married, there's no excuse. Here's what you would do. Even if he brings home the entire pie, you tell him you need 10 to 20% of that pie. You can invest whatever it is that you want, okay? And he cannot have a say into it, okay? And if you grow that pie from 10 or 20% to 30 or 40%, then he needs to give you a bigger pie, okay? And then that's how you conquer your independence when it comes to finance with the family that you're married. And if you have a dominant husband who thinks that you know nothing and he should be the one who makes the investment, no, 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 don't go there. Because you know what? On Wall Street, women, it's been 2 decades now that women have outbeat the men when it comes to ROIs, returns on investments. Okay. So don't say that. The women who have the strength to step out and make their own investment, they do a lot better than the men. Okay. So don't give excuses about, oh, I got to go ask Tom, Jack, Jerry, whatever. No, no, no. Do that.
Poor
And then we
Tom,
will
Jack, and
see.
Jerry. Your friends' wives are probably cracking up right now talking about Tom, Jack, and Jerry.
Yeah.
Stop
So
asking
that's
them. Just go and
there.
do it.
Stop. Yeah.
You
Just do
earned
it.
you earned your
Yeah.
spot.
Just do it.
Yeah, and
Right.
if my
Now,
wife said to me, "Hey, listen, Joe," and
uh huh.
she's home now after picking up the
Yeah.
kids right in the middle
There
of
you go.
her day. Uh,
Yeah.
if she said, "I want 20% to invest in
Uh huh.
something I believe in," just like if I said it to her, she would want to talk about it first, and then I would give it to
Hmm.
her. So
Yep.
there's
Yeah.
there's no doubt. There's a new world here, Jenny, and I'm so happy that you've spent the time with me today to be able to hang out and discuss this. This is an important issue. It's taken up every Wednesday for me from now on until the foreseeable future. Yeah, W is great, right? But I have some people on Twitter who are willing to talk to me. Let's keep growing this space together. I grew up with a sister who played football.
Mm.
I have two younger sisters. I grew up in a house where it was me and my two sisters and my mom. And my
Mm-hmm.
mom was one of the first women ever to be a New York journalist in New York City on TV. So
Mm.
so I come from a long line of strong women. I found a strong woman, and now I'm here, and I'm going to raise a strong woman too in a world, and
There you go.
hopefully she'll be a Bitcoin queen.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. By
Bitcoin
that
queen.
time, she's probably gonna be her own CEO at some publicly traded company with a cryptocurrency that's publicly traded on a crypto exchange. Get that, Joe.
Yeah,
Get that.
let's do it.
There you go.
Is there anything else you'd like to add before we end the stream today?
No, I had a great time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for reaching out and for us to have this taping today. It's a pleasure to meet you and be a part of your YouTube channel. I know you're growing and you're doing great. I've had a chance to skim through a couple of your interviews, and of course, you're a pro. You're a pro,
Thank
and
you.
greatly respect that. And yeah, if there's anything that that I could do to assist you, introducing more women into the space, I wouldn't mind working with a bunch of women and create some kind of initiative or something. I'm looking forward to that. I just haven't yet connected with the number of women that I needed, but when the time comes, I'm sure it's gonna come.
Well, I'm sure your inbox will be full once again, and thank you for responding to me. This is a new journey for myself and for my life, and I feel so strongly about the way that this blockchain has changed this technology, just like the internet did, just like the computers did. This is going to change the world once again, so we got to make sure that this time we keep the certain things up in the forefront of our minds as we go forward. Thank you very much, Jenny. And everybody who's out there, please hit that like, subscribe button. One of my friends on YouTube, one of the people I follow say, lick the like button. I think that's just so memorable. So go ahead and lick the like button. And
lick the like button. Follow Joe. Follow Joe.
Yeah,
turn on that notification bell too. There you go.
There
it's
you
not
go.
that hard.
At Joe Malillo Live. Follow me on my Discord channel. You can go to jojocrypto.live for any other information and updates. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. Jenny, we'll see you later.
Thank you so much, Joe. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Are you listening?
Now we're good. Thank you.